And good morning to you, my dear friends. You are tuning to our weekly segment, our educational segment entitled The Beauty of Knowing. Compliments our friends you see on the screen and members and supporters of the Hanuman Mission. A special contribution from my wife, Murti Chadee. One of the questions was presented to me was, why do Hindus worship murtis? Some call it idols, some call it stone, we have been, as a religion, condemned many times, although many and all religions have an icon of some sort. This is an educational segment, is not to criticize anybody, but I will state my facts. Now behind me you will see the Murti of Hanumanji, as you might see many murtis here, as you will see in every other temple or in the homes of people. The question is, why do Hindus worship murtis? Why do Hindus go to puja or to temple? Can we pray at home? Do we have to pray to murtis, or can we pray by ourselves in the middle of the desert? The answer to all of these questions is yes. Now why do we as Hindus, first question, pray to murtis? Because man's mind is so unfocused in this age of Kali Yuga. Because we are so lacking devotion, we are so lacking concentration, we're so lacking the necessary ingredients, if you will, to bring ourselves in tune with the practices that God has dictated for us. We need some help, we need some assistance, we need focus. Now when we perform Murti Puja, as you see here, we don't worship the marble, the stone, the brass, the metal. What we worship is the unseen presence in that marble, murti, stone or metal. Clear distinction. The same way you talk to somebody on the phone, you can have a relationship with them. You understand everything they have told you, what you want to hear, but you haven't seen that person. There's a connection on the phone. In the same way when you perform puja, that's a frequency, a connection or a telephone where you're on one end, God is in the other end. But to help us focus and concentrate our mind, this is why we use Murti Puja, or why we perform Murti Puja. I refer to it as icons, not idols, because we do not worship stone. All my friends in other religions have a monument, have an icon of some sort. We know that. We've seen it. Watch the news and you will see it if you don't know. So we established that. The second thing, after you have spent years of devotion performing puja, murti and otherwise, spiritualists normally elevate themselves, where instead of a murti, they perform something called a yantra puja. And many of you will see a yantra. There are different types. The most common yantra is a 3-inch rectangular 3-inch square, metal with an emblem drawn, with a lot of triangles that you would see. That's called a yantra. After you have elevated your life spiritually, a yantra is worship, because now you have gone beyond the sight of murti. You can focus, you can bring yourself to attention at any point in time, and this is where now you have elevated your soul and you perform yantra puja. That's the second stage of devotion. The third stage of devotion is you don't perform Murti Puja, you don't perform yantra puja. How do you pray? As is a common question for many people. Well, I don't have to go to a temple to pray. I don't have to pray home. I can pray in a bus, train, I can pray on the highway. That is absolutely true. But you can only do that. You can only do that when you have elevated your soul such that you can close your eyes in a bus, train, or standing in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, and commune your mind to God. Bring yourself in that frequency with God. And if you can do that, it's called Manasik Puja, puja in the mind. You can perform a complete puja, from washing your hands, Swasti Vashan, to performing a Havan, and to actually even seeing God and bidding God farewell, Visarjan. Many spiritualists have done it. The mantras we use build Shakti or Siddhi after so many times of repetition. And that is when we can elevate ourselves to perform Manasik Puja. So many of you who have called me, asked me, and we have many discussions with other pandits, people claim they can do this, they don't have to go to a temple, they don't have to pray at home, they don't have to be in an ashram. My dear friends, if that makes you happy, so be it. God bless you. But my advice is, until you have elevated your soul spiritually, until you have become in tune with God, and you have become one in the frequency of God where you can close your eye anywhere without a murti, without a yantra, without a picture of any sort, without a replication of any type of religious icon or monument. When you can do that and perform your own puja with your eyes open or closed, then and only then you don't need murtis, yantras or icons. Now that you know, for the beauty of knowing why we use murtis, yantras, or what is required to get to Manasik Puja and how we can elevate our lives spiritually, I hope and pray that you can use these little lessons that we give you and advance your cause. I'm sure your Pandits, your Mahants and your Sadhus will advise you otherwise. My number is on the screen. If I can help you, please feel free to let me know. Until next week educational segment, I would like to thank all of you who submitted questions, all of you who have paid your compliments to us. It's good to know that we're doing something that's worthwhile. Until next time, Jai Sitaram.